Okay, so we're going to do another hair exam here. So this one is Brooke from Dark, Florida sent me this one. When they were out, she was out with Bigfootworld. They found this on her. It's not her hair. And they're wondering if this is human hair. If it could have come from Kathy's car. Rubbed off onto her clothes from inside Kathy's car. Maybe that was on her seat of her car. Or if somehow something else had brushed up against her maybe and this came off. Alright, so I'm going to get this opened up. Alright, so I should be able to put my gloves on now. I like wearing the gloves to handle stuff like this. Just being professional. I'm not sending this off to be DNA tested. But I still want to handle it properly. I try to bring science into this, what I do here, and do everything properly, scientifically here that I can. So I've learned a lot about forensics, and I try to do these videos where I can teach about what I'm doing too. I like opening these up on camera. That way you can see exactly what I'm doing, what I got. Alright, here's the hair. Right, it is long, and just looking at it here, it looks human. This does not look like the vine moss, the horsehair fungi. It does not look like that. Alright, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to bring the camera over here and show you up close. And then I'll set the camera back up over here. And we'll do the examination here. Alright, so there's the hair. There's my hand for comparison. There's a pin for comparison. So again, like I said, it does not look like the horsehair fungi. It definitely looks like hair. So we'll check this out. I'll look at it with the digital microscope. And I got the digital calipers out so we can get a measurement. Alright, let me get my camera. Get my camera up on the laptop. Okay, we get the digital microscope plugged in. Okay, I'm gonna hit record. I'm gonna turn this a little here so we can. I'm gonna record this from the digital microscope, and then I can add this into the video. What we're seeing on the laptop here. Alright, so let's have a look at. Alright, so this is magnified. The digital microscope magnifies it. Alright, this is round, so that's what we're looking for. Try to look at the end of it here. Okay, so this is staying consistently round. So this is what I was wanting to look at here too, is the end. The end looks like it might be cut. Humans would cut our hairs, so that looks like it's been cut. So let me see if I can get to the other end here. Alright, so here's the other end. So this is the root of the hair right here. Okay, so that's the root of the hair. So it's definitely hair. I want to take and do a measurement with the digital calipers. Alright, so measuring something this little, this small is not easy to do. Alright, and this is 0.07 millimeter. Alright, so that was, with it being that little, that is difficult. Alright, so that's 0.07. Actually, I already had it on here because I had checked on my daughter's hair, Robin. When I did a hair exam on it, I was going back through and just brushing up on what I needed to do here. So it comes out as 0.00275. So in inches, it's 0.002 inches. So that's human. Alright, so let me bring the over here and show you this. Alright, 0.07 millimeter. So in inches, that's 0.002 inches. Alright, so that matches human. Alright, so this is all part of doing our research. Learning about the hairs and everything here. Okay, so I'm done with the digital microscope. So now I do want to look at it with the compound microscope. Alright, so we're done with the digital calipers. Alright, so I'm going to get the compound microscope set up here. And I'm going to put this hair, I'm going to put this on a slide. I'm not going to cut it, I'm just going to put it on a slide and then it can be taken back off. Because I don't want to cut it and damage the hair. If the Brooke and Kathy want it back, I always like to give them the hairs back when I'm using them. Alright, and I'll have to go get my phone so I can take a couple pictures of this as well. Alright, so I'm going to get this plugged in. Alright, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I want to go over this too as well. So the forensic science of hair. So this is called trichology. The science of hair is called trichology. So it's the scientific study of hair. One of the reasons that makes hair a valuable tool for the forensic investigations is its durability. So hair is more resistant to decay than most other like body tissues and fluids. So it remains intact for a lot longer than the other evidence does. So this makes hair one of the most frequently found pieces of evidence. Alright, so the morphology under a microscope. So you study the hair's scale pattern. So that's what I'll be doing with this. Its color. So we can already see it's black. The appearance of the medulla we'll see with the compound microscope also. To determine if the hair is from human or animal, or if it's fiber. Because especially if you were to send it in for DNA, if you think it's a Sasquatch, something like that, you want to make sure you're not just sending them a piece of fiber. Okay, I got the compound microscope ready, and I'll put the hair on the slide. So I'll show that here soon too. So you just you take a slide, put little drop of water on it, put the hair on it, and then put the little slide cover on it. It holds the hair down in place. I'll show that here soon too. Okay, so I'm going to video this with the phone too, so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, this is showing the outside of the hair. So it's got really, really fine scales. The outside of the hair, the cuticle, it has really, really fine scales. So that's human. Okay, this is showing the outside of the hair. So it's got really, really fine scales. The outside of the hair, the cuticle, it has really, really fine scales. So that's human. Okay, so let's look at the medulla next. Okay, so just once again, that's the hair. Alright, so this is human. So you can see that there's hardly a medulla in there. It's very fragmented. Very, very little. And it's not continuous. So that's definitely human. That's how human medulla is. Alright, and the outside of the hair. The scales on the outside of the hair are very, very small. It's consistent with human. So this is human hair. So Kathy, they were thinking it could have possibly come off of her seat. and stuck onto Brooke's clothing. So this is definitely hair, human hair. Okay, I have a human hair here. So this is a known human hair. So this came from my daughter, Robin. Alright, so this is just the light shining from the bottom. So you can see there's just barely a little bit of medulla. It's a fragmented. It's what's called a fragmented medulla. There's only a little here and there. So you can see some of the damage to the outside of the hair. Okay, we'll switch to this is just the light shining down on top of it. So you can see the scale pattern on the outside with these. Alright, and then here's the light shining from the bottom and from the top. So you can see us humans have a real smooth scale pattern on the outside, the cuticle. So you can still see the scale pattern there too. And you can see there's just barely a little bit of medulla. Okay, again, the known human hair. So you can see here one of the things we look for. The end of it's been cut. So the end of it here has been cut. So that's normal with human hair. Alright, so now we'll look at the root. This is on the known human hair from Robin. Okay, that's the root of the hair. That's what the light from above. That's the light from below. And both lights. So again, the medulla is just barely a little bit there, fragmented. So see, like here's one thing showing the different scales. All the different animals have different scale types on the outside of the hair. And humans, including humans and Sasquatch too, and hogs, and everything's got a different scale pattern. Alright, so I was covering some of this. Trichology, the scientific study of hair. Alright, and so in forensics, in the lab in forensics, they can actually study the chemical composition of the hair. They can test for drugs, they can check it for drugs, check it for nutritional deficiencies, amino acids. The hair absorbs chemicals. So in an actual lab, they can check for stuff like this. Alright, so when we're looking at it here, we're looking for irregularities. If it's circular, hair is always circular. The visible structure features, the outside, we were looking at the outside of it, the skull pattern on the outside, and we were looking for the medulla on the inside. So I'll be sharing some of these screenshots too here So teaching about this, talking about this too, about the medulla, how the hair looks, what you're looking at. So we checked the diameter of the hair. So it was 0.07 millimeters, which is 0.002 inches. So that's Homo sapien. That's Homo sapien hair. Is consistent with the diameter. Alright, so our first step was to look at the hair and determine if it was human, animal, or fiber. And looking at it up close first, I could tell it was human. And looking at it with the digital microscope, that's the first step. Looking at it to tell if it's human or not. Alright, so I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get these videos that I'm doing, get them to Kathy. So she can share them. She can show our research that we're doing.